I got into this industry, putting myself out there in a different way and not worrying about what everybody out there was going to think about me. Because there's no out there. We're the ones judging ourselves.
I would like to start with asking the massive relaunch in your life, because success didn't just happen.
I got to be my own hero. I went through both divorce and cancer in ways that were not conventional. I look back on both of those things as some of the hardest but the best times of my life.
I had my own financial planning firm, merged with a billion-dollar firm July 2001. My come meet the new firm meeting was scheduled for September 11th.
And I found that to be an alchemy of my empath and my financial expertise.
I started my first real estate business with 3 male partners. They took all of the business, and that forced me to stand up for myself and try to figure it out. A year later, I am #1 in New York City and New York State.
When I had to put my big girl panties on to keep that business and figure out how to make it run without me, the very first thing that I did was...
Welcome to the Relaunch to a Rich Life podcast. Today we are taking you inside another powerful conversation from our Relaunch to a Rich Life live event that took place in September in Scottsdale, Arizona. This panel was curated from women I deeply respect as leaders, mentors, and friends. These are women who have built 7, 8, even 9-figure businesses while navigating identity, leadership, visibility, and the personal cost of success. Their stories, wisdom, and lived experiences created moments the room is still talking about. The honesty, the generosity, and the willingness to go deep made this a truly transformational conversation. You are going to hear from Marley Jaxx, founder and CEO of Jaxx Productions, global speaker and business strategist who helps entrepreneurs amplify their voice, visibility, and influence on a global stage. Christy Whitman, transformational leader, law of attraction expert, and best-selling author of The Art of Having It All, whose work has helped millions align their energy with success. Bianca D'Alessio, CEO and founder of the Masters Division at Nest Seekers International, a top-performing real estate leader. Sue Moser, business strategist, advisor, and thought leader who helps high-performing women scale with alignment, clarity, and sustainability. Debra Morrison, co-founder and CEO of Taka, and a seasoned entrepreneur known for building and scaling iconic consumer brands with heart and intention. In this first part of the panel, we explore the real meaning of success, the moments that changed everything, the beliefs that had to be dismantled, and the mindset shifts that move women forward faster. This conversation is honest, grounded, and deeply expansive. What happens when women who have built 7, 8, and 9-figure businesses stop talking strategy and start telling the truth? Not the highlight reel, not the polished answers, the real moments that changed everything. In this conversation, you will hear what success actually costs, the beliefs that had to be dismantled, and the identity shifts required to move into bigger rooms. These women did not just build wealth, they rebuilt themselves. Stay with us. This panel is one you will not forget. Let's dive into part 1 of this unforgettable panel from Relaunch to a Rich Life Live. We got a lot of success right here. A lot of people that have had those years that they just crushed it. But there's also been the relaunches along the way that have been challenging, to say the least, and we all have them, and it's how we respond to them, it's how we grow from them. And a lot of times socials don't really tell the full story. So I would like to actually start with asking each of you the massive relaunch that happened in your life where you were like jamming, everything's good, and then something wasn't. Something happened. Something took you off of the path. Because we need to understand that success didn't just happen. You fought like hell for it. So let's start with you, Debra.
Well, thank you. I had my own financial planning firm and merged with a billion-dollar firm the end of July 2001. My come meet the new firm, kick the bricks meeting was scheduled for September 11th. The 4 white male partners and I went to the hospital, gave blood. Too late. We came back and we stared at each other. What are we going to do? We were in the community, the bedroom community in New Jersey. All 4 white male partners looked at me in unison and said, we're going to give pro bono service to survivors, and Debra, you're the partner that's going to do it. And I found that to be an alchemy of my empath and my financial expertise. And I take it very personally to now get more and more stages worldwide to say, there's hope, there's a way forward if you find the right connections and get your team in order.
You brought up something there that's so important, and that many times we think we have personal relaunches, we have professional relaunches, we also have global relaunches that impact us. Yeah, thank you for all that you're doing. All right, Tina.
Yes.
What would be this relaunch that has taken you into a new direction?
This.
How awesome is that?
Yes, next year I will be on this panel, and I'll share that this was another great big relaunch. I came into the room thinking way too small. The chicken girl you saw yesterday, she still stays in my head sometimes. So, and I've said this for years, but you don't hear what you're saying until you're ready to hear it. But the people that are around you are really, they're your tribe. And when I think about my previous relaunch, when I had to put my big girl panties on and decide to keep that business and figure out how to make it run without me, the very first thing that I did was seeked out other people who were older, wiser, not necessarily have to be older, but they were in that case. And I asked for help. And that is what completely changed the trajectory of my business so that I could exit and continue to go on and do the things. So this is my new relaunch.
How great. I'd love to hear that. Marley, what about you?
Is this thing on? This thing is not, how about now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. 2 that were almost kind of back to back. One was my divorce. And it was almost as soon as I kind of recovered from that, then I was diagnosed with cancer. And what I learned from both of those things was that I wasn't a victim, and that on the other side of that, I got to be my own hero. And I think I went through both of those things, both the divorce and cancer, in ways that were maybe not conventional, not what everyone is told to do. Like, I did not do conventional treatment. I healed it naturally, organically. I love sharing that story. I can nerd out and go through many rabbit holes. Anyone feel free to come talk to me. I'll share you all the things. And I look back on both of those things as some of the hardest times of my life, but the best times of my life.
Isn't that usually what ends up happening, right? Silver linings. What we think at the time when we're in the muck, we're in that deep, like, I'm never going to recover. And all of a sudden you can look back on it and be like, yes, divorce. You're now married to Steve, love of your life. Hey, there he is. That's right. And you're living in this very healthy new way. The wealth comes in not only your business success, but in your relationships and your health. So good. Christy, what about you? And by the way, it is so great to see you.
So good to see you,
So
too.
I just had her on my podcast this week, so it was really fun. Was it this week? Gosh,
It was
It's been
Monday.
a really long week, hasn't it? Wow. Yeah, so tell us about the significant relaunch that really changed things for you.
Well, I've had many divorces. I've had my sister commit suicide. I've had, my son, when he was 2 months of age, get run to the hospital and have to have open heart surgery. I've had some contrast. I've had some big contrast. Debts that were like, how am I ever going to get out of this? But the biggest thing for me was running a successful coaching academy and being one of the only coaching academies online at the time. I've been online for 19 years, longer than most. And we used to have almost $2 million launches twice a year. And I thought I was a baller because I would take my affiliates. We would go to the Four Seasons in Maui, and we would have these just incredible trips. And it was amazing. And then all of a sudden, things just really started to drop down. And I also started at around the same time, I started feeling discontent with certifying coaches. It's like, I've been doing it a while, And all of a sudden, as this was happening, I started channeling the council. So I am for some of you that don't know what that is, I literally go out and this group of ascended masters comes in and creates just a different way of teaching and speaking and healing, and they can see imprints and blocks in people. And it happened 7 years ago, 2 days ago, on the 17th. It's my son's birthday and council's birthday as well. That's who they call themselves. And so it was a big shift to go from Christy the coach, Christy the New York Times bestselling author and, leader of this coaching academy, the coaches, people used to call me that, and to shift everything and to start channeling and to move just into groups and individuals, and healing sessions and doing that. So I had to, like you said, put up your big girl panties. I had to find a lot of courage because I've always believed in channelers. Abraham Hicks has been one of my teachers for, 20-something years. One of my very first teachers of meditation was Oren Ben, who was channeled beings. So when I got into this industry, it was my teachers were channeling. And so for me, it was something that I always wanted to do, I was curious about, and now it was required of me I still coach coaches and I still certify them, but it's become this compared to everything else. And so that was a big, putting myself out there in a different way and not worrying about what everybody out there was going to think about me. Because there's no out there. Any judgment we think someone's going to have out there, it's all in here. We're the ones judging ourselves.
So true.
So I had to reconcile that within myself and realize that if my uncle, for example, wants to make fun of me because I sound like I'm British, fine with that because I'm helping people, So that's the big shift I had to make, is that I was feeling
pretty big
discontent.
shift. You went from like this traditional to all of a sudden I got this counsel, I'm downloading, I'm speaking in like different tongue. That's
about woo-woo.
But yeah, you go, who knew woo could be so good for you, right? So, hey, I appreciate you. All right, Bianca, let's hear it.
Okay. This is working. Perfect. I was trying to think about which one I want to focus on here. But I'm going to point to one that I think touches on a lot of different relaunches. So I alluded to yesterday, after the pandemic, my business changed a lot. I left the team that I was working on, who I was the right hand of for a very long time. I was slightly betrayed by them and them starting the next chapter of their career. And I looked as the opportunity to go out on my own. I did not have the confidence to go out on my own. And I started my first real estate business with 3 male partners. That first year was like wildly successful. We had secured over $1 billion of real estate that was in our pipeline, and we were moving and grooving. The synergy was great. I was then cast to be on the show, Selling the Hamptons. I knew my 2 business partners really wanted to be on the show, and I was going to say no. I said to them, if you're not comfortable with this, I will say no. They said, no, go do it. What's your success is our success. Well, they grew green with envy, and while I was gone filming, they badmouthed me to all of our clients, took all of the business, and I came back to be then being bullied by men that I was not going to be paid on $1 of business I had brought in. So I had the choice at that point in time, where I had always been the number 2 to a man, and I did not have the confidence to fight, and I didn't have the money, and I was scared. And it was the choice of continue to fight a very big legal battle for a truthfully shitload of money I was owed, or start over. And I'm so happy that that happened, because I never saw myself as a CEO. I never saw myself as a number 1. I was always so comfortable and so badass as someone's number 2. And that forced me then in that moment to stand up for myself and try to figure it out. And I jumped all in. And that first year, I would not let myself fail. I put my head down and I just kept going. And I had something to fucking prove, let me tell you. And it was a year later that I just, relentlessly going, and struggling with a lot of things that we struggle with. Imposter syndrome, not knowing where I fit in. How do I grow a business? Am I doing the right thing? Am I treating my people right? I think my people hate me because I'm too strong and I'm too aggressive and all these things. And trying to figure out, how do you become a leader in your late 20s and really not knowing where you fit in the world. Also at the same time, my 8-year relationship blew up because I was too masculine and I had too much male power energy, and dealing with that in the back end of just needing to show up into the universe and have it all figured out. So then it's a year later and the rankings come out. And I honestly did not even think to check the rankings, because I was like, there's no way, I'm only a year in business. And I just kept getting all these emails, congratulations, congratulations. So I look at the first ranking and I see number 14. I'm like, holy shit, number 14. And then people started emailing me, wow, number 1, that's amazing. I'm like, number 1, what list are you looking at? So I look back and I to my complete disbelief, it was a week later after the rankings come out, I'm like, I am number 1 in New York City and New York State. And that was a moment of wow, I can do it, and we can do it, and anyone can do it. It just depends on how badly you want it and what you're willing to do to make it happen.
Oh, what a story. Thank you for joining me for part 1 of this powerful panel from Relaunch to a Rich Life Live. These stories and lessons are only the beginning. In part 2, we go even deeper with raw honesty, meaningful breakthroughs, and some of the most impactful moments from the entire event. If you want to learn more about our next live experience in September 2026, visit relaunchtoarichlife.com. I cannot wait for you to hear what's coming next.